Good morning, my friends. My name is Lama Jigme and this is Enlightened Fitness, where first we will use high-intensity body weight interval training to cultivate the body of a tantric sex god, and then we'll use guided meditation to help you cultivate both the heart and the mind of Buddha. Now this ain't my first rodeo. I've recorded many videos on YouTube. So where do you find all these videos and how are they organized? Glad you asked. About 3 inches below the video, you'll find a button that reads Show More. Use your mouse, give that a click, it'll reveal a list of links as long as my arm. The first link will take you to a page on my website where all the Enlightened Fitness videos are organized. First, they're organized by length of workout. Some are 2 minutes long, some are 4 minutes long, some are 8 minutes long, some are 10 minutes long, some are 12 minutes long. You get the idea. With high-intensity bodyweight interval training, the idea is that you work out super intensely for just 12 minutes. When you're done, you're drenched in sweat, you're out of breath, and you've supercharged your metabolism for the next 36 hours, which is very cool. Now, within each box on the page, the videos are further organized by length of guided meditation. I intend for today's guided meditation to be approximately 42 minutes long. Now, if this is your first time watching my talking head, go back and find a video that's only 3 minutes long. What's that? You say you've been meditating for 2 decades and you don't need no stinking 3 minutes. Well, here's the deal, my friend. If humility is not second nature to you, then your meditation has taken a wrong turn. Start from the beginning. Having said that, I want to remind you of the 5 keys to weight loss and longevity and beauty and health. That's quite simply, water is your beverage of choice. I recommend intermittent fasting where you eat only 1 or 2 meals a day. Now, the key to intermittent fasting is not to starve yourself. Make sure you consume enough calories in that meal. There are videos to explain further on the website. I also recommend using the low-fat and I drew a blank. Using the low-fat, whole-food, plant-based diet. The second link below the video will take you to a page where there's lots of free stuff, PDFs, YouTube channels, and nominally discounted books like this one, which I'm going to read to you from in just a moment. The 4th step is high-intensity interval training. The 5th step is make it bodyweight fitness. Because, folks, you got to get dressed, go to the gym, work out for 90 minutes, come home and take a shower. Ain't nobody got time for that. But if your workout just takes 12 minutes and the only equipment you need are some chinning straps, which you can get off the internet for a nominal fee, or a chinning bar if you're Rudy Butch, that's cool. 12 minutes, anyone can work a 12-minute workout into their schedule. Now, as promised, I'm going to read you a passage from Dr. McDougall's Maximum Weight Loss. Yes, folks, he's a real doctor. Understanding your human needs. We are endowed by design with certain instincts and drives that keep us alive and help determine our success in life. These life-sustaining forces can be ranked by how essential they are to life. Air. Without air, you will survive only 3 minutes. Water. Without water, you will survive only 3 days. Food. Without food, you will survive 3 weeks to 3 months. Non-essential needs. Sex, money, love, family, occupational success, community status. Non-essential needs, such as those for sex and occupational success, often rule our lives, but the fact is we can live without them. On the other hand, we must breathe, eat, and drink to stay alive. How well has the need to breathe been designed? Do you know people who overbreathe? That's great. Do you count the number of breaths you take every minute to be sure you get enough air? Or do you rely on the breathing drive? How would you feel if I told you that there is a shortage of air in your community and that to do your part to conserve, I would like you to take 14 breaths a minute rather than the 18 you normally take? It would require enormous concentration and discipline to control your breath continually. How about thirst? Do you trust your thirst drive? While gardening on a hot summer day, do you say to yourself, I'm thirsty, but I've already had my 6 glasses of water, so I can't have any more? Or do you trust your thirst drive to govern how much you need to drink? How many people do you know who overdrink water? Obviously, your drives for air and water were designed correctly and can be trusted. Why is it that so many people overeat and must count every morsel that passes their lips lest they become fat and sick? Was the hunger drive designed incorrectly and therefore not to be trusted? Or are we confusing the hunger drive with something else? The problem is not hunger any more than it is thirst or the need to breathe. The problem is what we eat, not our desire to be satisfied. And that's, my friends, is all you get today from this book. I'm going to give you a quick tip, though. What a good doctor recommends is a plant-based diet. The animals will thank you, and so will the planet. He's also going to recommend a whole food diet. No preservatives, no refined foodstuffs, no powders, nothing from a box. Natural food that we have evolved to eat and thrive on. And low fat, no overt fats, no oils are necessary. No one you ever knew, no non-anorexic or non-starving person you know has ever died from a fat deficiency. Obviously, if someone is starving on the streets, they're going to be that's a different story. Obviously, if someone's anorexic, that's a different story. But no person, health-conscious person, ever died of a fat deficiency. Can you name 6 people who died in America from a fat deficiency in the last 12 months? No. So, there you have it. The low food, the low-fat, whole food, plant-based diet. I'm a big fan of this book by Dr. John McDougall. I'm also a big fan of Dr. Barnard's 21-Day Weight Loss Quick Starter, or something along that lines, is on the website. Also a big fan of the Engine 2 diet. Lots of great fun recipes in the book, really delicious things. Okay, now it's time for high-intensity body weight interval training. Now remember that those links below the video, you've got links to teach you how to do pulling exercises, pushing exercises, core exercises, and leg exercises. You got videos to teach you the exact exercises I'm going to do today. You got videos to teach you the easier versions and the more difficult versions. So if you have any questions, they are answered by the videos whose links are below this video. My friends, let's warm up by performing 2 repetitions of Indian-inspired 12-phase sun salutations. The link explaining how to do that can be found below the video. And yes, I'm working out in my flip-flops. Welcome to the Southern California lifestyle. My friends, we're going to do 5 circuits of 4 exercises each. Let's begin. Okay, let's start with jumping toe squats. Okay, then let's do hiking or press, also known as tent press. Hands tucked into your armpits, elbows tucked into your ribs. Straight core thrusts. Under grip, shins. Welcome to the second circuit. Let's do non-jumping heel squats. Wow. Let's do crawling press. Let's do twisted thrusts. Let's do over grip pull-ups. Welcome to the third circuit. Let's do jumping toe squats. do hiking press. Okay, let's do straight thrusts. Let's do under grip shins. Hold on. Welcome to the 4th circuit. How about some non-jumping heel squats? How about crawling press? How about twisting thrusts? How about over grip pull-ups? Welcome to the 5th and final circuit. Let's do jumping toe squats. about piking press. Okay, how about square or straight core thrusts? Lastly, how about under grip chins? Okay, you know you did this right. If you're out of breath and drenched in sweat. Of course, now the game is to see if the camera is going to cut my head off to arrange the headless Lama at Sleepy Hollow. Just a little bit. Just a little off the top, kind of like Lucy Liu in Kill Bill. Woo! Wow. In the words of my people, schwitzy. Water, beverage of choice. Okay. Take a moment to read you a bit of an English translation of a text written in the 1700s by Jigme, arguably the first non-sectarian devotee of the Buddha of Compassion, also known as Jigme. The name of the text is the quintessence of spiritual practice, the direct instructions of the great compassionate one. If you remember, we've been reading recently from the portion of the text dedicated to answering the question, is there a way to keep all the vows of devotion, refuge, devotion, renunciation, compassion and wisdom in a simple, essentialized manner? And the answer is, why, yes, there is. This morning we're going to read the passage that talks about how to practice all the vows of compassion, or bodhicitta, also known as the Bodhisattva vows, in a concise, easy manner. Allow me to read. Dedicate all your virtuous deeds to the universal benefit of all beings. To try to benefit others as much as you are able will suffice for keeping the Bodhisattva precepts. And that, my friends, is one of the reasons why at the very end of each class we protect our good karma, we share our good karma, and consequently we multiply our good karma. We do that through the cunning use of the 3 recitations. One of the links below the video will take you to the class materials page of the website, where you can download the free latest version of the PDF entitled First Set of Lesson Texts. At the end of each lesson, there are the 3 recitations that help us to protect, share, and multiply good karma. And since I just mentioned them in the text, I'll share them with you right now. Number 1. By this virtue may I now accomplish the spontaneous, habitual, easy, and effective mastery of Buddha's mental yogas of wisdom, peace, love, and joy. And now lead every living being without exception to this ground. 2. May everyone be healthy, wealthy, and happy. May everyone practice skillfully and joyfully. May everyone accomplish Chenrezig in this life, and then help many others do likewise. For truly that is the meaning of life. Om Mani Padme Hum. And the 3rd and final recitation is this. May I always be cared for throughout all my lives by the Buddha of infinite light, emanating as my kind teacher. And as such may I always enthusiastically and joyfully tread this excellent path praised by the conquerors. And there you have it. As I mentioned before the workout, I intend to lead you on a practice, a guided meditation that's approximately 42 minutes long. If this is your first time, go back to the page I told you about and find an Enlightened Fitness video whose guided meditation is only 3 minutes long. There are plenty of them. If you have trouble finding it, send me a comment in the if you have trouble finding it, look me up on Facebook under Lama Jigme, Lamajigme, and I'll send you the link to a 3-minute workout. I'd say send me a comment, but YouTube doesn't like me sending links into the comment section. So there you have it. Of course you could try, or send me a comment, and I'll see what I can do. Let's move on. There's a link that tells you how to sit comfortably. There's a link that tells you how to count your finger creases. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that you've already watched those videos. Let's sit erect, hands in the lap. Let's do the tantric version of breathing meditation. In through left, out through right. In through right, out through left. In through both, out through both. In through left, out through right. Every time I introduce a new technique, I give you detailed instructions. If you are lost and feel left in the dust, go back and watch an earlier video. In through right, out through left. In through both, out through both. One syllable version, left, right. Right, left. Both, both. Having completed our first 3 minutes, we now prepare to perform our first union of Mahamudra and Dzogchen. We'll be combining the Mahamudra practice of Ho-Was, rehearsal of the transference of consciousness at the moment of death, and then we're going to proceed to Dzogchen's Togal, which is simply a visually oriented take on the union of awareness and letting go. Pay no attention to that noise, it's simply my rice cooker. Let's begin. We'll start with universal love. Give to each great rebirth. Now we turn our attention to ourselves. Great rebirth, out through crown. Where crown Om, releasing. Om, free. Now we switch to Dzogchen's Togal, leap over practice. What singing, releasing. See, free. Grin with eyes, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. Having completed our 6th minute of guided meditation, we now prepare for our second union of Mahamudra and Dzogchen. This time we're going to practice the Mahamudra of the Guru Yoga of Gratitude, followed by the Dzogchen practice of Trekcho, cutting through, or in other words, grabbing our feelings by the lapels instead of running away from them. Thanks for what's releasing. Thanks, teacher. Releasing. We're heart free. Releasing. Free. What feeling? Releasing. Feel free. Grin with lips, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. That completes our 9th minute of guided meditation. The phrase, the union of Mahamudra and Dzogchen, can sound daunting. But when you really understand something, it's fairly simple. In fact, needless contrivances, needless complications are pretty much part and parcel of the elitist approach to spirituality, where the teacher's more concerned about seeming impressive than really transforming people. A teacher feels the need to frighten the students. He's probably a fundamentalist. Water, beverage of choice. Whether people know it or not, Dzogchen techniques come from one of Buddha's most fundamental texts, the Anapanasati Sutta, the Satipatthana Sutta, and the Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Just because Buddha's teachings are taught in Pali, or in Sanskrit, or in Japanese or Chinese or Korean or Tibetan or Bhutanese or Nepalese or Sri Lankan or Laotian or Thai or Burmese. Does that make them different? Those teachings are fairly simple. Whew. And arguably one of the most popular Hindu techniques taught in America, yoga, starts with an N. I don't remember I think it's yoga nadi or something like that. It's basically a variation on vipassana and satipatthana. Let's begin with the Lam Rim, a Tibetan phrase that I like to translate as steep path conquered by gentle steps. We'll start with renunciation. How this not satisfy. Why turn from suffering's cause? How this chance be precious. Oopsie, my mistake. How karma be quite just. How this chance be precious. Let's play with Tong Lane's union of compassionate taking and loving giving. How could each be kind mom? Why take fear as black smoke? How are all more than me? Why give peace as white light? In through nose, out through pores. Take fear smoke, give peace light. Now we're going to play. Now that we've completed the first 12 minutes of guided meditation, let's play with an analytical approach to Buddha's wisdom of awareness and letting go. Where feel mind releasing. How is this dependent? How here like Potala. Pop quiz, what's Potala? Potala is the paradise of the Buddha of compassion. Fundamentalist believes it really exists and is comprised of bliss-inducing light. Most liberals believe that that's simply a metaphor either for an auspicious rebirth or simply to always meet with ideal circumstances for Dharma practice in this life. Either way, the paradigm of a paradise comprised of bliss-inducing light transcends all religions. So let's continue. How here like Potala. How sights like Potala. How could this always change? How speech like the Mani. The Mani is the nickname for the 6-syllable mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. How speech like the Mani. How sound like the money. How could mind not be me? How God-like Chain Re Zig. Chain Re Zig is Tibetan for Avalokiteshvara, or the Buddha of compassion. Is depicted as having a body of white, four-armed body of white bliss-inducing light. How God-like Chain Re Zig. We're now going to explore sensations, but we're going to reduce the word to its first syllable, sen. How sen like Chain Re Zig. We're now going to explore the similarity of whatever emotion we feel to love. We're going to abbreviate the word feelings for feel. How are feels dependent? Of course, I should have said how feelings dependent, but live and learn. Now we're going to go to love. How is love dependent? Now, obviously, hate and love are not the exact same thing, but they share the same interdependent nature. And now we're going to explore how could feel, or how feelings be like love? Now we're going to do the same thing with wisdom. How could thoughts always change? How wisdom always change. Obviously, not every thought in our head is wise, but every thought shares the same non-graspable nature as wisdom. How thoughts like great wisdom. And so the inference is, no matter what we think, no matter what we feel, no matter what we see, no matter what we say, no matter what we hear, we bring it into the union of awareness, letting go. It can be transform it into the stuff of enlightenment. Now that we've completed the 18th minute of guided meditation, we're going to play with a very simple practice of the metta, loving kindness that gives wisdom. How wise good? Releasing. How wise feel? Releasing. Now to me, give wisdom. Now to some, give wisdom. Now to all, give wisdom. Don't be afraid to breathe deeply. Now to each, give wisdom. Each wise. And now that we've completed our 21st minute of guided meditation, we're going to do a simple wisdom practice. What feeling? Releasing. One syllable version, feel free. How could this be funny? Grin with lips, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. Having completed our 24th minute of guided meditation, we begin the Chog chain set of practices, also known as completion stage. We're going to play with the channels and the winds and the drops and all that kind of fun stuff. First thing we're going to play with is Tumo, the Inner Flame meditation, the secret wheel, 4 finger widths below the navel. We're going to start with reverse breathing. That means if you're a girl, in the in-breath, you squeeze tight your anus, your urethra, your vaginal orifice, and pull in your lower abdomen. On the out-breath, you relax these 4 points. If you're a boy and you don't have a vaginal orifice, then on the in-breath, you squeeze tight your anus, your urethra, your perineum, and you pull in your lower abdomen. On the out-breath, you relax those 4 points. I like to call these tantric kegels. Tantric kegels, in one form or another, have found their way into both Hindu Tantra as well as Taoist Tantra. Where seek wheel, releasing. Where seek ha, releasing. Where ha flame, releasing. Now, if it was cold outside, we meditate on the flame right now, but since it's rather warm, we're going to meditate on the letter right now. When by letter, I mean syllable. Ha, free. that, my friends, is the union of bliss and letting go. Having completed our 27th minute of guided meditation, we now do a series of short transitionary contemplations. All flame stretch, out left soul. All flame stretch, out right soul. All flame stretch, up to nave. All flame stretch, up to heart. All flame stretch, out left palm. All flame stretch, out right palm. All flame stretch, up to throats. All flame stretch, up to crown. All flame stretch, out through brow. We now say goodbye to our reverse breathing and return to standard, relaxed, spontaneous breathing. Brow drop climb up to crown. Where crown wheel, releasing. Where crown om, releasing. Om, free. Having completed our 30th minute of guided meditation, we'll now switch gears and go to the tantric version of love and letting go, known as clear light yoga, sometimes known as rainbow yoga. Crowns, joy, lights from white om. Crowns, joy, lights, bless body. Crowns, joy, lights, bless bod's beings. Crowns, joy, lights, now bless here. Crowns, joy, lights. bless here's beings. Crown's joy light, now bless earth. Crown's joy light, bless earth's beings. Crown's joy light, bless all worlds. Crown's joy light, bless all beings. All beings melt into worlds. All worlds melt into earth. Earth's beings melt into earth. Earth now melts into here. Here's beings melt into here. Here now melts into bod. Bod's beings melt into bod. Body melts into Om. Crown's Om melts into space. Vast expanse, empty void. Vast void. Now that we've completed the 33rd minute of guided meditation, we now turn to a flavor of awareness and letting go that is distinctly visual. That's right, it's Dzogchen's Togal Deep Liver practice. What's seeing really seeing? what hearing really saying. Hear, I'm sorry, my mistake. See free. Noticing, let's try this again. How could this be funny? Grin with eyes, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. That completes our 36th minute of guided meditation. We're going to bid a fond farewell to the Achagchen practices for the moment. We're going to do a semi-simple version of the Metta meditation. The loving kindness that gives everyone else love for everyone else. How love good, releasing. Breathe deeply. How love feel, releasing. Give to me love for all. Give to some love for each. Give to all love for each. Give to each love for all. each love. We're now going to do a distinctly Mahayana flavor of the union of love and letting go that focuses on sound. What hearing releasing. Hear free. How could this be funny? Grin with cheeks releasing. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. And that completes today's 42 minutes guided meditation. I invite you to join me now for a gentle set of geriatric yoga. It's entitled Untying the Heart's Knots. Please sit erect and lace your hands behind your tush. Please open your chest and twist to the left. Why give wise, releasing. Please reverse. Now to each give wisdom. Back to center. Please release the hands. Lace them in the lap. Swing the hands out and overhead. Please bend to the left. While I give peace, releasing. Please reverse. Now to each give great peace. Back to center. Let's make our way into downward facing fetal position, which of course is also known as child's pose. Give to each, love for all. Curl your hands into fists. Place your knuckles on your yoga blanket just above your knees, elbows in. Rapidly straighten the arms and ride the momentum into the seated samurai position, which is also known as lion's pose. Please lace your hands behind your tush, open your chest, drop your head, roll your gaze up. What feeling, releasing. What hearing, releasing. What seeing, releasing. Please release your hands. Cup your palms. Press them together so that the center of each palm is hovering before the upper third of the chest. Relax the shoulders down and twist to the left. While I give joy, releasing. Back to center, shoulders down, twist to the right. Now to each, give great joy. Back to center, relax your shoulders down. Hands and knees in preparation for cat-cow asana. Open mouth, slack jaw. Now to each, give comfort. Please stand up. Place the weight. Oops, before you stand up, we're going to address the camera and let you know that we're getting ready to enter the final portion of the session where we combine bowing with the recitation, the 3 recitations that can be found at the end of every lesson. What you're going to do is go to the class materials page using the links below the video, download the free latest version of the PDF entitled First Set of Lesson Texts, and you'll find the 3 recitations at the end of every lesson. Here we go. Weight on the balls of the feet. The major minor ball of the feet behind the big and little toe. Heels off the ground. Subtle bend in the knees. Hips thrust forward. Hands laced behind the tush. Chest up and head dropped. Gaze rolled up. Look at this, Epiphany. Grin with eyes, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. Release the hands. Let's do 2 repetitions of Indian-inspired 12-phase sun salutation. By this virtue may I now accomplish the spontaneous, habitual, easy, and effective mastery. Oopsie. Of Buddha's mental yogas. Of wisdom, peace, love, and joy. And now lead every living being, without exception, to this ground. May everyone be healthy, wealthy, and happy. May everyone practice skillfully and joyfully. Everyone accomplish Jigme in this life. And then help many others do likewise. For truly that is the meaning of life. Om Mani Padme Hum. Let's conclude with 2 recitations of Vietnamese-inspired bows. I should say repetitions. May I always be cared for throughout all my lives by the Buddha of infinite light, emanating as my kind teacher. And as such may I always enthusiastically and joyfully tread this excellent path raised by the conquerors. My friends, I thank you for your time, your kind attention, your support, and your enthusiasm to evolve, not just physically, but spiritually as well. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Before we go, I'd like to remind you to find the subscribe button and give that bad boy a click. And find the like button, click that, as well as the share button. After this video, I invite you to turn your attention to the upper left-hand corner of the screen. There's a YouTube button. When you click that, it'll take you to your home page. You can scroll down until on the left you find the tab that reads Manage Subscriptions. Give that a click. You can look up either Lama, Jigme, or Enlightened Fitness. To the right, you'll notice a box. Use your mouse to put a check in that box. That way, the next time I upload a video, you'll be notified through an email. Now, I mentioned there were many links below this video. You could use one of those links to help keep this monk fed, which is lovely, but not mandatory. You could use a different link to actually register for the next series of live weekly webinars. When do they begin? Tuesday, the 2nd of July. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.